Time's now 4:30. If we could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance,
Let me
please.
turn my ringer down real fast.
Okay, we're waiting on you, young
I'm
lady.
sorry, I don't want it to ring in the middle of it.
Mr. Gutierrez, can you lead us, please?
Yes. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All commissioners are present. The Personnel Commission meeting is a business meeting of the commissioners held in a public forum to comply with the Brown Act. This is an opportunity for citizens to make suggestions and identify concerns about matters on the agenda or other classified personnel matters or suggest topics for future agendas. Those in-person attendees wishing to address the commission are invited to fill out a request to speak card and present it to the secretary prior to the portion of the agenda. Individuals will be addressing the full commission, not individual commissioners, and shall be asked to stand whenever possible while presenting their comments. For the record, any individual addressing the commission shall first state their full name. The commission has a policy limiting speakers to not more than 3 minutes. Ms. Stewart, do we have anybody who would like to speak?
No, sir.
Moving along, commissioner reports. Ms. Pringle.
Hello, everybody. I wish everybody happy holidays. That being said, I have news about my health. I do have my surgery scheduled for January 30th. And so I don't think I'll be available for the February and probably the March meeting. And I don't think I can go to CSPCA.
I will take care of that.
Thank you.
Good luck with the surgery. We'll talk about before that, I'm
Would
sure.
you like to go?
Mr. G.
Easy fix.
I hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving and wishing everyone a happy holiday and Merry Christmas.
There you go. I'd like to wish everybody a happy holiday season, whatever you celebrate, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas, none of the above because you don't believe, just be safe and enjoy it with family and friends. I'd like to take a quick minute to thank Miss Crane. I had requested a couple things earlier and she was prompt and got them to me and asked for the stuff and everything else. There was other stuff. But she was here, so I wanted to acknowledge.
Thank you.
CSEA updates, Ms. Gonzalez.
That's me. Same on the order, you guys. We'll get the holiday season is up and going. So happy holidays to everybody and safe and fun times through the season, whether you celebrate or you don't. Healthy season. My household is sick right now, so I'm hoping to stay healthy. Especially with our party coming up on Saturday, like you guys heard at the board meeting. You guys were at the board meeting, so it's pretty much the same things there, but just for note purposes, our membership appreciation party is this Saturday from 5 to 8 at Los Domingos. We were able to secure a location off school site to kind of let our members let loose and have a little fun. No business, no work, just kind of a gathering to get together and show our appreciation. We have lots of raffle prizes. We're trying to make sure that everybody gets one, goes home with something. Thank you, Olga, for the donations to the raffle. Looking forward to seeing what those are. Maybe I'll win one. We do have our elections on Thursday. Sorry, excuse me. So as I had said before, there are 2 people running for each e-board position, president, secretary, and sergeant at arms, our incumbents as well as new persons. And then we have 10 people running for negotiations where they'll elect 4 and the president is an automatic. So we have that coming up. And then in January, we'll start the new calendar year with the new elected board members, whoever they may be. And we closed up on a couple of MOUs, working out a class MOU. Instead of starting day 6, is gonna start day 1, effective through the end of this school year. Because of all the shortages, the vacancies, things like that, we have people working out of class. We wanna make sure they're compensated for their work on day 1 versus day 6. We also have an MOU to clean up the process of involuntary transfers. So that is going through 610 as we speak. It'll come back to the board, to the membership to ratify, and then we'll go to the Board of Trustees to finalize. And looking forward to starting negotiations on schedule, maybe even early February, March, and getting things tied up and wrapped up for July 1, so there's no retro, or everything can just get started from the beginning of the year. So looking forward to moving forward with the district in all of the positive aspects that we've had. Whether I continue as president or in some other area, I don't plan on not continuing, just might not be in the same capacity I'm at the moment. So thank you for all the communication and the open honesty with us and working with us, and Patty, and getting the vacancies all. We worked pretty hard yesterday, about 4 hours trying to clean up on some vacation payouts and some holiday pay, summer school pay, things like that, to make sure that our members are getting what they're supposed to be getting, and keeping in line with the contract that's already been negotiated. So hoping that that continues in the future, and keeping those positive communication lines open with the district. So thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. District updates, I'm assuming this is for Mr. Gutierrez.
Again, happy holidays to all. She kind of covered all the MOUs, so thank you, Renee. Yeah, we worked diligently yesterday, nonstop. Doug, thank you for being there as well. Looking through data sets and spreadsheets,
Job descriptions.
job descriptions, and all of that. So we were very productive yesterday. It was a good evening. We would have Patty working on some data for us as well.
Which
We had
was,
all departments on hand.
All hands on deck.
All hands on deck, so thank you, and I also want to thank the union for being open with the negotiation process, and in a friendly way, even when we have disagreements on language. We always come together and are able to come to an agreement, so I thank the union for that. And other than that, I have nothing else to report.
Thank you, sir.
yes, there currently are, we have no interviews in process. We do have 3 recruitments in the testing stage, and 6 recruitments are open. 352 classified employees, 153 of those are the 8-hour full-time, and another 95 are the benefited part-time, and then 104 are the non-benefited part-time. We also had 2 negotiations for both CSEA and BEA, and the board approved this along with all management team and administration. The district approved a 7% increase on salary retro back to July 1st, and an off-salary one-time 4% based on the annual of that retro back, which kudos to business for getting that all processed on time and ahead of schedule for everyone. That I wanted to let the commission know about that. And yes, we're in the holiday season. And on a sad note, I will say, Barstow Unified is mourning the loss of 3 of our Barstow Unified family. On November 17th, retired Barstow Police Officer Perez, we lost him, our former SRO. And we lost Dr. Angel Burnell on the 18th of November, and Nutrition Service Worker 2, Adeline Gallegos, on the 3rd of December. So these 3 individuals touched the lives of many here in Barstow, and they will be deeply missed. And that's my report.
Thank you, ma'am. Move on to the adoption of the agenda. Any commissioners wish to cover anything from the agenda? I'll make entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented. Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Go on to the consent agenda. Ratify human resources, ratify the human resources tax eligibility list. I will entertain a motion.
Motion?
Second.
Ms. Jewell.
This is a standard eligibility list. It's the only one we have for this meeting. We've already taken some action based upon it and filled a vacancy in HR. Will result in another recruitment that will be opening soon for the It's a snowball effect, you know, for the receptionist, sub-caller.
Promotion from within. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
promoting from within, absolutely. So,
All in favor?
Alright,
Opposed? We're gonna go to the approval of the new classified management job classification and minimum qualifications for Title IX, UCP, compliance officer. I will entertain a motion.
motion,
Second.
Ms. Dool.
yes, this is a brand new management classification for classified management. The district is currently contracting for for investigative services with
TNG.
TNG, thank you, the Title IX group. As we move into the 21st century and having come from a district up north that already had one of these in place, this is something that is most needed here in Barstow, someone that can oversee and be a comprehensive person contact to be able to make sure all the Ts are crossed, all the Is are dotted, that all the investigations involving either Title IX or UCP are kept on track. Between Assistant Superintendent Gutierrez and Assistant Superintendent Scott Godfrey, they kind of tag team these different investigations. But we do have quite a few that are ongoing, it seems like. So rather than contract out, the district is looking to hire within, to bring someone in.
Questions, Ms. Dool?
I guess my only question, which I already talked to the director and she answered, was how did we come to the recommendation of a salary range 64?
Salary range 64, I've included in this, in the management, classified manager's salary schedule. There's only, I'm at range 64. And when you're looking at classifications and where you place them in regards to the minimum qualifications, this job description, as you can tell, requires a bachelor's degree. Actually, we're hoping to get a Juris Doctorate with someone who at least is not necessarily passed the bar and is a lawyer, but has their law degree. That will be of most benefit in this case, plus 5 years experience investigating. However, the closest we can get is 64. Hopefully this person comes in with some experience so we can maybe offer them advanced step out to step 5 to be competitive. The next range up is range 68, and that's basically our chief business official, which is also a senior management exempt position, and they are on contract. So that was the recommendation. It was also, I don't work in a vacuum. I've discussed this with several members of cabinet, and 64 seemed to be a reasonable place to place someone like this.
That's all I had.
My only question is how, reading all of these things and understanding all of that stuff, how easy or hard is it to find an individual
Well,
as such? And have you guys already identified an individual or just the position?
we just identified this, and once this is approved,
Then you guys will.
I'm targeting opening this right after the first of the year for the recruitment, but there are organizations, well, we'll definitely let TNG know that hopefully maybe somebody from there might come, but there's also TICSA, which is similar to AXA and another fraternal organization of Title IX. I'll be also placing it out on higheredjobs.com, because a lot of the universities definitely have these, if not more than one, to try to expand that pool to try to get people to apply and come here to Barstow.
Do other districts in the high desert have this type of position?
I don't, to be perfectly honest, I don't know.
Okay.
Up here, I don't know whether Victor or Apple actually has one of these, other than assigned through their administration.
Mhm.
I know Apple had it's normally assigned to one of the assistant superintendents.
So when you say it's kind of like a part-time duty?
It's one of their duties,
We'll
yes.
sub it out.
And it is one of their duties. Assistant Superintendent Gutierrez, it's one of his duties,
One of Scott's.
and Scott's. But when you have a community where, in this case, there's a lot going on here in Barstow. With the school district, with community and with parents and just trying to keep track of all this, of all the investigations and the complaints. It's just, it can be overwhelming and they're already chief negotiator and so it just adds.
Mr. Gutierrez, you want to say something?
Yes, so in the climate that we live in right now, especially in the high desert, I don't know if you heard, we are under the Office of Attorney General judgment. So the level of work that's required to meet the corrective action items through, and making sure we cross our T's, dot our I's, investigation processes to meet the legal requirement. That's basically where we are right now. We wanna make sure that we document everything to meet the legal requirement in the event that it goes to litigation.
And this was coming out of the Attorney General's office.
Yeah. Absolutely. And then you also have in Victor where the Office of Civil Rights Laws. And they're suing a lot of other districts just based on disproportionality of judges, bullying, Title IX. And those are usually given to the tax lines, or they're a little bit higher. And the case are given to the that we have right now. It's so difficult even to get ALRR to help us with investigation. They're actually reaching out to San Diego, some of their to come up and help them with investigations. So I foresee that in the future, a lot of the districts this way, they're going to hire an investigative director that does this kind of work. It's done effectively, and because of the number of complaints that we're getting has increased tremendously year after year. So and I think it was a thing up north and down here. So it's a lot of work. I will say that in order to complete the task, to do a report of findings, stop what you're doing to investigate, do interviews with individuals. It's a lot of time that has to be consumed just engaging. That's a full-time job for sure.
I'm prone to soapbox, and it's a shame that society has come to this stage, and especially in education, understanding that the majority, 99.9% of the people that work in this district, their number one interest is in students and their household and their learning. And to have to protect the district by creating a position to investigate every single complaint that comes in, not only for Title IX, but the others that do come through this, kind of a sad state of affairs. Glad to see you guys are getting in front of it, and hopefully it helps. Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we're gonna go to the reclassification appeal request for.
We have had a request to pull this one. Did you modify, did I miss that part?
Oh, I did not
Thank you.
table that. What we'd like to do, my apologies, thank you, Ms. Dool.
Item 9B.
Item 9B, I'd like to entertain a motion to table it until the January meeting, please.
Motion.
Second.
Anything? Nope, it'll be on the calendar for the
January
meeting.
11th.
January 11th. Okay, we're gonna go to C now, my apologies, the reclassification of Ms. Gutierrez. What we're going to end up doing is I will entertain a motion in a second for discussion purposes. Therefore, we can open it up and then we can discuss it.
Okay, a motion that we discuss it.
All right?
Second.
All right. This is my first one of these, so I'm going to ask questions of Ms. Dool, and we're going to get to your portion. So we have all the information in front of us. I'm assuming we're going to let Ms. Gutierrez speak. If you so choose, would you like,
Susan, do you want to come up and have a say?
or do
And
you want
this
us
is my
just to
first one
read it?
too, so here we go. I don't know
Okay.
what you want me to.
And let
I
me.
want you to do it.
We're gonna go from newbie to newbie. We were presented with the documentation of what your appeal is and the reasonings behind it. You have the opportunity through this process to address the commission. You can do it or not, and we can take it based upon all of the information that we have, and then we can discuss it with Ms. Dool. And if you would like to speak, this is your time to say, hey, I'm doing X, Y, and Z because of X, Y, and Z. We have the opportunity, from my understanding, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, to ask questions of you if we so choose through this. So you can wait for our questions, or you can present your case to us.
Sounds good for questions. 'Cause
You're
then
good
I-
for questions, you don't want to talk to us prior to. Okay. It works for me. I guess I will start this with the presentation that you gave us and all of the documentation. And I am going to go off of your experience in these matters with inside the merit system. And after you did your investigation and wrote it all down, you saw that there was a need for a reclassification. So with that being said, I really don't have any questions. I guess my one question of you, ma'am, is you started in the position on day X, and you believe, along with others, that today and day Z, your job has changed,
Yes,
and in a dramatic fashion.
yes.
Okay. Other questions from commissioners?
I guess my question to the director was that it's more not to the merits of the case, but for the procedure, is that I understand that we're supposed to look at this appeal as just stating independent and is irrelevant of what other.
You've been provided with the information provided coming out of the reclass committee, which is, well set up in their collective bargaining agreement. When you're looking at a reclassification request or an appeal, you're looking at the 2 years of gradual accretion is the key element. Has there been 2 years of gradual accretion? Now, keep in mind, you can look at it two ways. You can look at it 2 years from when she initially submitted her application, which was a year ago, so 2 years before that. But also, I was looking back when I first started, after we got the process, we got all the documentations out from the committee. They gave them to me. I brought them to you guys in August. I did observations, and now I'm bringing them back to you. So the timeline is still moving, okay? It's been 3 years since you would be going back 3 years to see, and a lot of the tasks and duties that she's been performing that have changed and evolved and increased, it's now 3 years into this. There are other classifications in other districts that I would be targeting if you approve this, and the process for that would be to draft a job description if you approve this, that would then go back to the district and the union because they would be negotiating the implementation of that. Once they got that out of negotiation, then the board would approve, similar to how the board approved the Title IX classification, and then it would come back to you for the minimum quals and the approval, and then the reclass would be put in place. Now, there is no retro with a reclass. So, does that help?
Yeah, so like I said, so we're looking at this based on the evidence or the report.
Yeah, that was presented to us.
So, and that's what we're gonna make our decision based on that report, okay?
Anything else? Ms. Brindle, nothing. Mr. G, nothing. Ms. Gutierrez?
She has a question mark over.
Oh, I apologize.
She knows me. I thought you were going to recommend the guidance office technician, same as the high school?
No.
No?
That is what Susan actually requested, correct?
Yes.
In her initial request that went to the committee, she thought she should be reclassed to that. I believe it should be a whole new classification. I believe that what she is doing at the junior high is kind of an intermediate, not a full registrar, but a level that would lead up to the registrar as far as handling student records, like a student records specialist or a student records technician.
Okay.
So that being said, it'll be blended from other classifications to create
Yes.
the
it'll be
wording
new.
for something.
Yes.
Anything else?
So just my question on that, because that's where I'm just kind of like a little lost on that. So, because what the registrar doesn't do, which is what I used to do when we didn't do enrollments at central enrollment, I did registrar work. But it still doesn't cover the report cards and the transcripts and all that, so that's where I'm like a little fuzzy on.
But a student records classification would encompass student records. Not when, I'm not talking about records specifically like a cume, records, just student records, student information. Not to the level of like what is the over at IT.
Right.
And not to the level of the registrar, because you're doing more of a jack of all trades, but you're dealing with all student records.
Again, I think my simple brain, when we put this all together, is you are doing tasks from multi different things. So they're going to blend, and that's why I use that word, because you're gonna take a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, and then try to come up for a job description that fits the actual job that you're doing, which will then be brought back, and then that whole process will go. So as of right now, she can't say you're gonna be a registrar,
Right.
she can't say you're gonna be this, because it's in essence almost going to be a new position that you have so wonderfully created by being able to do X, Y, and Z. If the appeal is approved. Questions, comments? Done? There's a motion and a second. I'm assuming the motion on the table, and I should have clarified this, is to approve or disapprove. It was to approve.
To approve.
Okay, I will call for the vote. Ms. Prindle?
Yes.
Mr. G?
Yes.
Mr. Rosenberg? Yes. So that's 3. They're gonna get to work on figuring out what Ms. Gutierrez is and does. With that being said, we are going to move into closed session to do our evaluation of Ms. Dool. So again, thank you folks for showing up. Happy holidays, safe holidays. Good luck with the upcoming elections and all of that other stuff. See you, bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Happy holidays.
Later.
I can turn off the camera and
I'll bring it to you.
and then.
Thanks, buddy.
When we're done, all she has to do is give you the time.
Have a good
We
one.
can actually stop it, because we're just gonna, yeah, when we come back out, then we're going to read out, gonna be, we gave you an email.
Yeah.
Did you have to?
Hope you feel better.
Like I suggested? Give me 1 second then.
Hope you feel.
Oh,
We'll need a staff.
Renee?